This is the Off-Season Movie Club, rewatching the classics.
I got to be honest, FP, I don't know if these count as classics. These count as old movies, and they do happen to be James Bond movies. This is OMC23, for anyone keeping track. What the hell were we thinking saying we were going to watch 4 movies? There's way too many.
The 4 movies typically wouldn't be a lot for me because it's been like 2 weeks. 2 weeks? 1 week? A week and a half?
I don't know. It's been 3 snowstorms. That's what I know.
Snowcrete, an apocalypse, Olympic golds, all of the things happen.
Everything just blends together now. Yeah.
An entire lifetime went over this OMC, but the 4 movies. Started well, got a little poopy, got a little better towards the end, but my God, it makes you appreciate the new era of movies and so much.
So listen, we got all ballsy, and we were like, we're gonna watch some classics. We're gonna watch, we're not gonna we're gonna go deep cuts, right? We're gonna go deep cuts with James Bond, a la like a Dave Matthews Band, type of thing, where we don't want to hear ants marching. We don't want to hear All American or American Girl. We want to hear, I don't know. You're a big D&B guy. Some song that's off the, album.
Yeah, like the deep cover Red Rocks album.
Something. Yeah. We want Metallica, but we want the orchestra album with the symphony, the San Francisco Symphony or whatever, right? We can't just listen to the classics here. We picked 4 movies, and we said we would not watch. If I remember the genesis of the conversation, it was, we have like a recency bias, basically, right? The most recent Batman is the best Batman. The most recent James Bond is the best James Bond. And I think it was you, maybe it was Andy. Somebody said, well, that's because the effects got better. And I remember saying, no, it's because movies are better than they were 40 years ago. Like, there are some outliers, but generally speaking, movies were better.
I think this all came from us discussing The Rip initially. And how movies for Netflix
the Rip,
so watered down. And I think that led us into the conversation about old James Bond movies.
Is it fair to say we overcorrected?
Listen to the dialogue.
Right. I think we overcorrected, though, with this.
Because there's a reason movies trended towards watered down, because it was so hard to sit there and pay attention.
For 3 hours. Like, I don't have 3 hours. I'm sorry. I don't have 3 hours. Like, I would need tight 90, please. Like, 3 hours is too much. But there has to be something between The Rip, which, Razzle, if you're listening to this, we've seen it. We covered it before you suggested it. So, sorry. Or not sorry. And then these movies, right? So, we said we're not going to do Daniel Craig Bond movies. I'm not to bury the lead here. He's the best James Bond.
I miss him so much.
He is the best James Bond. And the 4 movies that he was a part of, so 4 or 5. We had Casino Royale, which is one of my favorite. It's a top 5 movie for me of all time. We had Quantum of Solace, which I think is criminally underrated, in my opinion. It's actually a very well-acted movie, but it didn't have all the gadgets and the Bond-isms. I thought that was a great one. Spectre was solid. I mean, unless I'm misremembering. And then we had No Time to Die.
Right.
Am I missing one?
I think that's all of them.
I think that's all of them too. Let me double check. Daniel Craig Bond movies. Let's see. Yeah, No Time to Die, Spectre. Oh, Skyfall. How did I forget Skyfall?
Skyfall. Yeah.
So Casino Royale 2006, Quantum of Solace 2008, Skyfall 2012, Spectre 2015, No Time to Die 2021.
Yep.
Of those 5, Spectre may be the worst. Actually, No Time to Die may be the worst. I didn't care for Rami Malek as a bad guy.
No, I thought he was a great bad guy. I think that was a good closing arc to the Daniel Craig.
Sure. No spoilers. Yeah, no spoilers. But all of those movies, the worst of those movies, is better than any of the 4 we've actually watched. And I know some people are going to be offended, and not just the ones that are always offended. There's a couple people that listen to OMC with regularity. Did I tell you OMC's outpacing the sports show at this point? From a growth pattern? I mean, it's off season, I know, but like, people love OMC.
We have really good taste. We have really good taste.
I agree with you. I think Andy disagrees, but I agree with you. But the 4 movies that we're talking about here, Dr. No, Live and Let Die, License to Kill, Tomorrow Never Dies. You're getting a Connery, You're getting a Roger Moore. You're getting a Timothy Dalton, who I think actually the career rejuvenation of Timothy Dalton is something to be studied. Like he has gotten so much better as a character actor with age that I think now there's a draw to his stuff.
It almost felt like he didn't even really do acting when he was Bond. He was just like
he's
going
himself
through the motions.
Yeah.
It was just
that's fair. I don't disagree. I mean, of the okay, I don't want to pick a favorite of these four, but how do you want to attack these? You want to go, best to worst? Do you want to go just in order, oldest to newest?
Let's go. Older is oldest to newest. I say we just hit it that way.
Okay,
and we just dive right in.
All right. Well, let's do it. So first was Dr. No. Okay, Dr. No is IMDb rated at a 7.2. Rotten Tomatoes FP has this at a 95%. This is Sean Connery, Ursula Anders, Joseph Wiseman, and then of course Jack Lord playing Felix Leiter. It just it is what it is. The film, it's the one that launched Agent 007. He's battling the mysterious Dr. No, this genius bent on destroying the U.S. space program. This is circa, what year is this one? Hold on, 1962. 1962. So 1 year before, right? Like all the big stuff's about to happen from a space race perspective. This is all leading up to it. Ursula Anders plays Honey Rider. It's not terrible, right? Budget $1.1 million. I found this really interesting. I logged all the budgets. Cost $1 million to make in 1962. Make this movie. How did you feel about this one?
I found myself, the nostalgia of watching Connery as Bond is what sucked me in and kept me going, right? So I think he's one of the better Bonds because you get everything established with him that carries into the Roger Moores, the Daltons, the Pierce Brosnans, and the Daniel Craigs. Like everything that got established with Sean Connery, like how he says his name, just like his gravitas walking around in a tux, like his flirting with Moneypenny, just like all the innuendo, even like all of it. It all starts with Connery, and I think that was just what Connery brought to the character. I don't necessarily think that's how Bond was written or envisioned. I think that was just something that Sean Connery brought to it. And it just became a staple in all of the Bond films. And then as you're watching the movie and you're getting into it, like it sucks, but it's good. You have to remind yourself, like this is 1962. Like if I was in my 20s going to a drive-in movie theater, and this is my first time watching a James Bond action spy flick, I'm losing my mind, right? The stuff that they do, the concepts that you're seeing, you're losing your mind. And that's probably why Rotten Tomatoes has it rated so high, is because it was like peak innovation and originality at the time. Like there's nothing like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because to be honest, I haven't seen enough movies from this era to like really critique it. I like, with something like The Rip, right? I've seen enough of these movies that I feel like I can comment on, how it compares to its, contemporaries, right? Like from a cop, thriller, drama, whatever, right? I think the allure of James Bond, especially early on, is there wasn't anything like this. Like there wasn't this idea, like maybe there were American spies. There was stuff like this is pre-Cold War even, right? Like this really establishes in many ways the spy genre of movie, right? Like this is like he is a British secret agent, right? Like yes, of course they've always existed, but there's such a difference to like pre-Cold War movies and post-Cold War movies when you start to factor in,
right?
The Russians, or even you can even look at in the 80s, you start to see, like the Arabs, right? And the terrorists are portrayed a certain way. It doesn't really exist much before that from a pop culture perspective. So like in that regard, this movie is trailblazing, right? Like you get, absolutely. You get first look at the cars and the watches. It's the girl, right? Like it really does hit all of the Bond-isms for First Go.
Yeah, because it established them.
Yes.
And it's timeless because Dr. No, like right off the jump, that's where they create the villain like mega corp of Spectre, and they stay away from like the Cold War and the Russians like on the nose, and that's what makes it timeless because you can watch it and it's not really tied to like a geopolitical climate or whatever of the 60s, right? Whereas like the biggest competitor for Dr. No coming out in 1962 was that same year you had the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
And that was very
Oh,
on the
wow. Look at
nose.
you doing some research.
Yeah, look at that. Very on the nose. That's actually a great movie too. But that was very on the nose, Cold War, Russians, Soviet, blah, blah, blah. So it's just, it was interesting because you kind of saw like, you can't really call it Hollywood because it's Britain, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But like it's Hollywood. Like it's like the golden years of Hollywood.
Sure. Well,
It's
I think
nice
it
to
counts,
see.
but it's also to, you said this, and I think it's worth underscoring. It's the first one, right? And really, I think one of the reasons why most people look on it so fondly is because it establishes the formula, which you said as well, and you don't see Bond like this raw and cold and like dramatic, maybe. Until
Or like Willing to Kill, like License to Kill meant something more in the early ones
and the later ones
and the Daniel Craig
and the
ones.
Daniel
It's
like
they
Casino
bookshelf-
Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it got very slapsticky, and I think we're going to talk about that too. With it's I can't even believe I'm going to say this, but it's like a longer version of the Fast and Furious. Like, and I realize this is insane, but just hear me out. Dr. No is the first one in street racing. By the time you get to the end of the Brosnan runs, they're in space, like crashing cars into
absolutely.
rockets, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this great, huge reset with Daniel Craig in 2006. And I think that's why that movie, like Casino Royale for me, is so perfect. I could
Brought it back down to earth.
I could do 2 hours right now without watching it fresh on Casino Royale, on the opening scene, on killing his first kill in the bathroom in the black and white cutscene, breaking into M's place of residence, and the on the nose like hacking, like he's an old school agent, but he's got some new school tricks. The Bahama, like I could literally do I could do 2 hours right now on Casino Royale. Dr. No, like if there was nothing between them, it's almost like a perfect connection between the way Connery portrays Bond and the way Daniel Craig does in 2006.
Like, because
literally
you
40
skip
years later.
You skip all of the slapstick,
yes,
and like the one-liners that like when you get into like License to Kill and Tomorrow Never Dies, like all of the Pierce 2000s or late 90s Bond movies, it's like it's insufferable how he just has like that one-liner after every single scene to make you sort of chuckle.
It's
because it's like cringe now.
Somehow, if you folded time, right, it's the time and space if you folded time together, you would go from 1962 to 2006. Dr. No and Casino Royale in a single thread. Those two movies feel much more connected to each other than anything in the middle between them.
Yeah,
and I think that's why even I now, like, I'm interested to know how you rate Dr. No. Let me tell you, I'm giving this a 3.5. I think it has its flaws, but if you're a Bond fan, you can't not see this. Like it is, you have to have this one, in your bag, so to speak, to understand like what it was intended to be.
Yeah. I think if like Dr. No, it was more setting the trend where all the other movies copied it.
Yeah.
And then those middle James Bonds were chasing the trends.
Some were good,
right?
some were not.
Some were good, some were not, but they were kind of like the Live and Let Die, right? Like they're chasing the 70s voodoo thing. They're not really setting a trend. Right. And then when you get into License to Kill, it's the same thing.
Be gentle. I love that one.
It's okay.
Oh man. Oh
I
no.
mean, it's okay.
What do you? Okay, how do you rank Doctor No? Where are you giving this?
Doctor No, I'd probably like if we're doing like within the Bond universe, it's upper echelon. I'd probably give it like I'm gonna change the rating, so I'm gonna go like 8 out of 10.
Okay, it'll be a 4 out of 5. Okay, that's
4 out of 5.
Okay.
But like there's so many Bond movies, like 1 to 5 isn't enough.
Sure.
You need a little bit more variation.
How about just as a standalone movie? Like, would you tell somebody to go watch it?
Yeah, no, I think I would standalone movie. I'm giving it like a 3.5. I think
Okay.
everybody needs to revisit the original Bond and Sean Connery as Bond to understand why, like, so like primarily men, but so many people are just like why you can have a Bond movie from 1960 to the 2020s, basically every 2 or 3 years religiously.
Yep.
And it's gonna get its views, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't get sick of the Bond story.
I'm with you. And I think you can't properly assess Daniel Craig as a James Bond character, like playing James Bond, without really knowing what Connery did. Like I just you can anyway. I think it's a 3.5 from both of us. I'm good leaving it there unless there's something else you wanna say about Doctor No.
No, I'm good. Actually, Honey Rider, her scene coming out of the water.
Yes.
That was the scene where, like, I think it's like the most copied cinematographic like shot in all of Hollywood of like the hot woman slowly emerging from the water. Like every Bond, every action flick, whatever, they've all sort of copied that iconic moment, and that was established in Doctor No.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, how many times did we see that iconic type of scene?
It became like a Bond thing almost.
Yes.
Like they had to include it.
Did Daniel Craig not walk out of onto the beach in his? Did he not do it?
Switch up with Daniel Craig.
Was it not a callback?
He was the honeypot.
That's right.
He was the lookie.
Oh yeah. You see, that's what I'm saying. You know exactly what scene I'm talking about. Yes. On the beach with the horses and the whatever, and he just walks out and he's just, here are my shoulders. Yeah. All right, let's keep it moving. We'll go to Bond movie number 2, 1973. So 11 years later, we get Live and Let Die. This is not rated as well, to say the least. This is Roger Moore playing James Bond. We've got this one features Jane Seymour, Yaphet Kotto, Geoffrey Holder, and Gloria Hendry. There's a lot of folks that you would recognize, but that honestly, FP, they didn't do much after this movie, besides continue to be, basically just character actors. This is the 8th movie in the series. IMDb put this one at a 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, this one shocked me a little bit, 67%. And then there's an Ebert score attached to this one too, which was interesting. So basically, the modified critics score, which is out of 4, it's kind of a weird metric, at 2.5. Roger Moore investigates the murders of 3 fellow agents and finds himself a target evading vicious assassins as he closes in on powerful Kananga, known on the streets as Mr. Big. Movie is quite lengthy. It is directed by Guy Hamilton, who's done some other stuff, but 2 hours, just over 2 hours, budget of $7 million. Talk to me about this one, FP. What'd you like?
This one was rough, right? Starts great, probably the best.
Live and Let Die.
Yeah, the best starting Bond song. Maybe until you get to like the Daniel Craigs and you have like
Adele and stuff. Come on, Madonna did some good stuff in there.
Yeah, fine, but it's
Adele,
I think
Madonna.
Live and Let Die.
Live and Let Die. Yeah, it's so
best
good.
Bond song, because if it comes on now, like if you were in the gym and just randomly popped on, you're not skipping. Yeah.
Don't mind the bed music I'm providing for your review. Keep going.
It's
Live and Let Die. That's the best part of the movie.
That's it, right? Like watch the entire opening credit scene and you enjoy it, and then you're done. It's very 70s. The cars suck.
The cars are terrible.
The whole plot is just garbage. I can never get into like the voodoo. Also, if this is a movie that gets recreated now, immediately canceled.
Well, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's this one's interesting because if you go into like the James Bond like Reddit, if you go down the rabbit hole on this one, people love it. They love it. Like it's got the awesome like title track. It's got the beautiful Bond girls. You know, there's some action sequences, although, you know, whatever. You know, just there's a band of villains, right? Like it's Kananga and Teehee and Whisper and what's his face, Samidi. Like there's just a lot of stuff happening in this movie. I mean, and Jane Seymour is just, I mean, she looks good. Right. Like she looks good. I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this one, you can't ignore that. But the movie itself, yeah,
it's just very 70s. That's all you can really say to it. It is the 70s.
I mean, I understand.
The whole like disco shtick carries into like the voodoo flavor of it. And then you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of that. Yes. I mean, is it as bad as we're making it out to sound, though?
I mean, I think 2.5 is a solid.
Is
maybe
it
2? Maybe 2.
That's tough, man. I don't know if it's that bad.
Honestly, if it's not for the Paul McCartney song, it's probably 1.
Yeah. I mean, there is one scene though in this movie. There's one stunt sequence that I honestly couldn't believe that it wasn't CGI because they couldn't CGI.
Boats.
Well, okay, 2, not the boats.
Okay, the boats were incredible. That was the best.
There is
way too long.
Yeah, very long. But there is a scene that involves. Well, I don't want to give it away. I want to see if you can guess it. I'm not even sure how am I going to give you a clue?
The gators.
The alligator. Yeah, perfect. Okay, yes, the alligators.
The gators.
That's a real scene.
That's a real scene.
There's no CGI.
No.
It took them 27 takes to somehow get them. Yeah, and they were baiting them every single time. Like, if you go on YouTube and type in "Live and Let Die" alligator scene, you can see some of the. Like, there's a couple that get really hairy with the stunt double.
Wow,
that's a real
impressive
stunt. That is a real stunt where he, you know, the stunt double is running across 5 or 6 alligators in a row. Yeah. That is a very real stunt. And
that's crazy.
And it got like, and towards the end, they were having an issue where like they had fed they had fed them so much, the chicken wings, like to get them to come up, that they weren't coming up anymore, right? And then when they didn't feed them, there's one in particular where they like grabbed the shoe off of the stunt double's foot. Like it is, that is a real stunt.
That makes it a little cooler then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no CGI, so like you want him to run across alligators or crocs or whatever. I don't know what the difference is between them. Do you actually know what the difference is?
I don't think I do.
They're both dinosaurs. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. All right, give me your rating on Live and Let Die.
Well, okay, the boat scene was cool. Knowing about the alligator crocodile scene being real,
Live and Let Die
makes it a little better. I think I give it I want to give it a 2. Overall, it's a 2.
Ugh.
In the Bond world, it's probably one of the lower movies, maybe bottom quarter of all the Bond movies.
People do love it, and I don't know why, to be honest.
I think it's the song. I truly just think it's the song.
Does it not? Do you not want to sing it? Even here, as I'm just belting it out, you don't want to give us a little.
Normally, I would get annoyed at you singing, but every time you do, like, just
give us a little taste.
It's just so good.
Let's hear your version of Live and Let Die. Go.
No, don't make me do it.
Live and Let Die. Just do it.
Live and let die.
There you go. See, don't you feel great? You feel great now. Like it's just.
I mean, it's so good. You got pep in your step.
I'm gonna give it the same score. Like after all of that, I'm giving it a 2.5. Or sorry, a 2. This is a 2 for me as well. Like if you came to me and said, give me 10 James Bond movies to watch, this is not going to be in those 10.
Especially if you're including the 5 of Daniel Craig.
Well, that's the problem, right? I'm giving you all 5 from Daniel Craig. I'm giving you probably 2 Pierce Brosnan movies. I'm giving you both Dalton movies, and then maybe like that leaves one spot if you're keeping track. It leaves me one spot to give you anything from Connery or anything from Moore.
You gotta choose a Connery over a Moore.
I think so, but I'm in the minority on this. Roger Moore is my least favorite James Bond. I don't know if you're with me on this or not, but he is my least. I mean, It's not a shot in any way. I would.
How are you ranking your Bonds?
I mean, Daniel Craig is number 1 for me, and he's gonna. Pierce Brosnan used to be 3. I've moved him up to 2. I actually like his portrayal of James Bond. It is appropriate for the era in which these movies were made, and I think he may be the best actor. And I understand that I'm putting him, basically above Connery, but Pierce Brosnan is a phenomenal actor.
He suffers from the era that his movies were in.
Yeah, it's poor writing, not poor acting per se.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he is a talented actor. So for me, it's Daniel Craig is by far number 1 in my book. I actually really like most of the Pierce Brosnan movies, with the exception of there's one that is really bad, but the
last one.
Was it the last one? I have to pull them up. There's one that's was it Tomorrow? Not Tomorrow Never Dies. There was hold on, I gotta look him up. Let's look him up. Brosnan Bond movies.
It's GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah, Die Another Day.
Die Another Day is the worst one.
Die Another Day is pretty terrible. That's got the antagonist from the Fast and Furious in it. I'm forgetting.
That's the one with the stupid invisible car.
The Vanish, the Aston Martin Vanish, the 101. Yes. It's also got that's a Madonna title track too. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I think I'm right.
No, you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah. So anyway, I would go Daniel Craig 1. I would go Brosnan 2. I would go. I love Dalton, but I think Connery 3, Dalton 4, Moore 5, Lansby 6. Lansby's movies aren't bad. He only made 2, or 1. Yeah, but I don't know. I really. Daniel Craig for me is number 1. I don't know if your order is very different,
but I'm also I feel like if you were to take Pierce Brosnan and put him into a well-written Daniel Craig universe Bond, you probably could have gotten just as good of a movie.
I don't disagree with you. I would actually even take it a step further. I think you put him in any Roger Moore Bond, and it's better.
Yeah,
like he just doesn't have Roger Moore has a certain face that I don't like.
No, Pierce looked the part.
Yeah.
Sounded the part. He played it really well.
Yeah.
He just had the terrible writing and just late 90s, early 2000s terrible forced CGI crappy graphics.
And just very slapsticky. We're gonna surf with a kite down a tsunami with a rocket. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. We're gonna jump from 1973 to 1989's License to Kill. Timothy Dalton portrays James Bond. Carrie Lowell plays Pam Bouvier. Robert Davi plays. This one's actually loaded with talent, right? Robert Davi plays Franz. All right, Sanchez. Benicio del Toro, young Benicio del Toro is in this. Talicia Toto, David Hedison. This is a loaded cast when you really sit and look at it. A little bit of Miami Vice vibes in this one too. IMDb,
it's like Miami Vice on steroids.
Well, I'm just saying, if you look at the movie poster on this one, it's it literally looks like Miami Vice. It's all the pastels and everything. IMDb's got this one as a 6.7. Rotten Tomatoes FP 80% from the audience on this one. And then there's another a random metric here, that Ebert score for this is somehow it's ranked a 4 out of 4, which I don't know exactly how to make of that. But in this one, James Bond's adventure, this is he's this one starts with a wedding, a little bit of a slow start on this one. I don't know if you watch them in order or not, but
yeah,
this one kind of a slow start. It's like Felix. Felix is obviously a main character. He's the CIA friend, whatever. But this one starts kind of weird with the wedding, and then there's a helicopter that takes them to some drug shootout. Then he comes back to get married, and then very start stop in and out of the story until finally. I don't know spoilers here, but somebody gets eaten by a shark, and then suddenly we start to see just things kind of move, and we start to get a movie out of it at that point. So I enjoyed this movie. I said it just a few minutes ago. I enjoy Dalton as James Bond. I think there's a coldness or a rawness to him, not the same as Connery. Connery and Daniel Craig, I think, played the role very seriously, right? Like they were believable as spies, so to speak. Whereas Dalton is just like an a-hole British guy, like he's just like an angry Brit. I think he plays it perfect.
That's the movie. License to Kill is the movie where it really, and you kind of you get it more in the Daniel Craig's universe, but Bond is rogue agent, right? Like he's
vengeful.
He's out of MI6, not out of MI6, but acting on his own.
On his own. Yep.
Right. Q sneaks out to help him, and it's very, just angry British guy. Essentially, is the movie, right? It's not actually like a spy MI6 movie.
Yeah, it's more Taken, less Bond. Like it's just rogue guy. Yes.
But I will say, I think Franz is probably the best Bond villain of all the Bond villains.
All?
I think he's maybe the most realistic of all the Bond villains.
No. What?
Yeah. You don't think so?
Are we not counting the Daniel Craig Bonds? Mr. White? We're not counting Mr. White. We're not counting...
they're good, but they're like the realistic part of Franz is, I think, what makes it better.
I don't know, FP. I gotta give this a... Really?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, the all of the Daniel Craig villains, with the exception of Rami Malek, were very believable. What was the hacker? I'm blanking on the name of the hacker. In Skyfall. Who's the antagonist in Skyfall? Why can't I think? Raul Silva. What's his character's name?
Yeah.
Javier Bardem.
Mm-hmm.
He's a phenomenal villain. I think he's my 1-1. He's a phenomenal villain with the face and the thing and the.
But that's you're getting away from like Franz is just a drug lord. Like he's not a guy stuck in a. He's not a guy in a volcano. He's not like this big crazy mastermind broken. Like he's just a drug lord, and he's just a really good villain.
Okay, so you're comparing him like a Goldfinger.
Yeah, kind of.
Like okay, I mean, yeah, in that regard, yeah, drug dealers are villains and they are real, and he's real in that sense. Yes,
you can look at Mexico right now.
They're 2 for 2. That's pretty scary because I was there 10 days ago, and I'm not there anymore.
You're very lucky to not be there right now.
I know. I hear you on that. I did enjoy this movie, and every time I've come across either of the Dalton movies, The Living Daylights. I don't know why we let Andy pick anything, to be honest, because he's, he wasn't going to watch 4 movies. What the hell were we thinking? But the Living Daylights is actually a pretty solid movie as well. That one's got Miriam Diadobo, I think, or Diabdo is the Carrie Milroy. Anyway, my point is, do you not enjoy Dalton as James Bond? What do you think of him as Bond?
I think he played a good Bond. In that, but he wasn't like, he didn't have the opportunities to be James Bond, if that makes sense. He was kind of John Wick in a Bond movie.
That's interesting.
Like he's not necessarily like all of the stuff that you get from Connery and from Pierce and from Daniel Craig. You don't really get it with Dalton. He's just really good at killing guy.
Yeah, he's just a killing machine. It's not a bad take, FP.
He's just John Wick of the 80s.
He's the John Wick. He's the original Wick. He's just he's just Rambo, really but British. Yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta be honest. That sways my score a little bit here.
The whole thing with Bonds is you want the whole presentation, right? You want the suave, you want the tux, you want the ladies.
He definitely has that. Even though later in life,
but it's not, at least in License to Kill, it's not right there for the taking.
That's fair. What the stunts in this one and the special effects I thought were pretty good. You get more of him with cars and gadgets in The Living Daylights than you do in License to Kill.
Well, License to Kill, you get the camera gun.
Yeah.
The palm reader. That's cool. I like that gun. That's one of the cooler weapons.
Yeah. We also get the toothpaste explosive. There's a lot of stuff actually we get in this one, right? So I like this one. How are you going to score this one?
I'd probably bump that one to a 2.5 because I think you can
Man,
remove it. I think you can
a
remove it
harsh
from the
score.
Bond universe,
And it stands
and
alone.
it stands alone, and it's a great movie. But
Remove it from the Bond.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing I say for all of our reviews. Like in all of cinematography, all movies, it's a 2.5.
I am gonna agree with you again. I mean, I really no. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go 3. I think I would tell somebody who had never seen this movie to sit down and watch it, especially if you like right now. If you haven't seen any of these movies, they're all on Netflix. You can literally sit down and watch.
What started this?
Yeah, you can watch James Bond all 25 films on Netflix right now. So go do it. I think both Dalton movies are better than people remember them.
I think they've aged better, yes, especially since over like our youth, like 90s, 2000s, when you would just laugh and dismiss those. Going back now,
yes, I think there are some redeeming qualities. I'm gonna stick at a 3. Like I said, I would, if you were coming brand new into the Bond universe, I would tell you to watch the 5 Daniel Craig movies. Maybe drop Spectre. I would definitely tell you to watch both Dalton movies. I think they do advance the genre. I think Brosnan somewhat carries that forward in GoldenEye, and then it just goes haywire from there. Right. You know, the last one in particular in the Brosnan set is so okay. So 2.5. I got it at a 3. I think this one is. I don't know if I'll rush to rewatch it, but if I catch this on like like Amazon does like the Bond channel when they have the Bond movies, I actually love that. I don't know if you get into that, but
where you just catch whatever is on.
You just turn it on. It's just 24 hours of Bond. It does like there's something very comforting about that. That's one where
it would stop me for at least a good 15, 20 minutes.
I'd watch. Yeah, I'd watch. If Living Daylights was on when I switched over, unless it was one of the 3 scenes I care about, I wouldn't stay and watch it. I think I would hang out if Living Daylights or License to Kill popped on. I would stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a weird metric to rate a movie, but that's how we're doing it today. Last one comes from the Pierce Brosnan batch, 1997's Tomorrow Never Dies. 6.5 on IMDb, 58% from the fans on Rotten Tomatoes. I was surprised how poor this one did.
I feel like it's too high.
58's too high?
Yeah.
Wow. You and I disagree. I think this movie you could probably remake right now in 2026 and it would do fine based on the premise.
The bones of the movie, if you were to remake it, the plot, you could go miles and miles and miles.
Sure.
Of making a great movie out of that. The concept.
There's something there. There's something there, right? Pierce Brosnan, of course, is James Bond. Michelle Yeoh, I think is how you pronounce her last name, plays Wei Lin, who frankly is on screen way too much, in my opinion.
Yes.
Jonathan Pryce is the mogul Elliot Carver. I actually think he's kind of an underrated villain. He's not like a big burly guy, but I guess we'll get into it. Terry Hatcher. This is the era of James Bond movies where you just stick anybody famous in to be a Bond girl. And I think the movie suffers. All 4 of the Pierce Brosnan movies really suffer from this. We saw Halle Berry.
Halle Berry wasn't terrible.
Well, she wasn't great. And Terry Hatcher in this one, at least she wasn't on screen forever. Like it was a little bit more controlled burn. This is, I think, also one of Judi Dench's best performances as M.
Yeah.
It's one of Desmond Llewellyn, who plays Q. One of his last performances, of course, is Q. He's not in any of the Daniel Craig movies. And then Gerard Butler's in this movie. Did you know that? I found it very
really.
He's one of the seamen. He's seaman number 1. He's one of his.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's one of the very early credits on his IMDb.
I caught that.
Yeah. I didn't catch it either.
It's not a talking role then.
It's not a talking role. I went and just looked, like IMDb, and boom, yeah, there it is. And Die Another Day is considered to be pretty much the worst Bond film. That and The Man with the Golden Gun. Like this one comes on the heels of that. This is not. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I'm surprised you think that 58% is pretty bad. But the movie is centered around Elliot Carver, who wants his news empire to reach every country on the globe, but the Chinese government will not allow him to broadcast. So he takes matters into his own hands, trying to basically start a war. And there we go. Like, that's the movie in a nutshell. $110 million budget on this one, FP. I mean, this was a massive movie at the time.
Insane. It's the whole turn of the millennium that makes me hate this movie. Like, I get what they were doing. And I like we said, like the concept and the villain and just, media moguls doing their thing and controlling the narrative. I get that. It's how late 90s and 2000s executed it was. It takes away from the movie, right? Like the car scene, the BMW is awesome. I think it's actually the most.
I was about to say, there's no way you're sleeping on that. There's no way.
It's the most violent Bond car created.
Yeah.
If you factor in all the weapons that it has.
It's an interesting metric. Yeah. Okay.
But the remote driving of it, like, I get it.
Q with the red jacket and the remote, and here's your Sony Ericsson phone that opens and you can steer it, and
I
gadgets
get it,
galore.
But it's just like between that and like how nimble he makes like a BMW motorcycle look in the streets of China or wherever they are. Like,
iconic scene though, with Wei Lin on his back and he's got like the arm draped, like iconic
and the turning
scene
around. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's just like the movie wouldn't end.
It
wouldn't end.
It's got
just
some
kept going and going.
It's a little draggy.
Every scene.
Yes, there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
But the premise
it's
is
very 90s.
But the premise is good. I mean, I believe this is the one that gives us the Moby soundtrack as well.
Yes.
Right. So like good music in this one. Like this is peak like EDM, house, trance, whatever Moby's sound is. It's all over this movie. Good stunts though, and honestly, the general premise of him getting into like Elliot Carver's launch party thing, like it's somewhat believable, right? That somebody would basically start a fake war just to sell newspapers and cover it. And this is at the height of the cable war, right? Like it fits comfortably into society in the late 90s. Like this is Fox News versus CNN versus MSNBC. Like this is when this movie's coming out.
Yeah. Right before Y2K, and nobody really knows what's gonna happen.
And who can you trust in the media? And like it's the beginning of the you can't trust anybody kind of like, we're still living in this now in 2026. You can't trust anybody. And the movie plays perfectly off of those storylines. I think that's why, at least for me, I remember it very fondly. And on this revisit, I still think it holds up. I think it's a good movie.
It's not a bad movie. Of the Pierce movies, like, we skipped GoldenEye for a reason, and GoldenEye is the golden standard of
best
the
of
Pierce
the four. Yep.
Bonds.
By far.
And that's why you get the Nintendo 64 game.
Got 006 in the beginning, 100%. 100%.
It's fantastic. And then it just slowly, it just
degrades.
suffered because like it's just you can't keep going through it. And this was the movie where my brain recognized the most one-line slapstick.
There's
comments.
a lot. There's
and
a
it
lot.
It was like you watching The Rip, where they kept saying the rip. And I was like, okay, like we get it. Like he's quirky.
Stop telling me the movie.
And,
stop force feeding me everything. I got it.
Yeah. But I mean, it could, like, that would be the one I think I would pick out of all the Bond movies, Daniel Craig world removed, that I would want them to remake.
I love that take, actually, FP. I'm going to say, we should clip that, because we should send that to MGM. Like, hey.
Yeah.
Remake
like whoever
this
your
one.
Next Bond is, revisit this plot, make that the
make this movie again.
And tie it into
like what they did
Spectre
with Casino
somehow.
Royale. Just remake this one. Because you're right. This one would hold up big time, actually. It's interesting. Like there's a lot of, there's certain Bond movies where he gets away from Omega. He's wearing a Rolex, or he's not driving an Aston. There's a couple where he's driving. I mean, Pierce is driving BMWs. He's got a Z3 in one. He's got the 750, right? Like they it's all about like they sponsors. I mean, they're willing to pay to have their car featured. That's obviously it was heavily reversed in the Daniel Craig
that's
era.
what makes seeing the Aston for the first time in the Daniel Craig movies, everybody's like, yes.
Yeah.
Like we all celebrate.
We see.
The return.
Well, to be fair, we do see it in the last Pierce Brosnan movie. We get the Vanish, right? Like that. It was basically a Vanquish, but they call it a Vanish.
But I meant like like Sean Connery's Aston. Like
Yes.
the
Oh, yeah,
original.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in Skyfall. Is that what? Is
Yes.
that like?
Yeah.
Is it Skyfall? The one where it's in the storage unit?
I
Yeah.
No,
Where he's running away with M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sky,
And they go to the cabin.
Skyfall is 2 movies in one, and it is so good. I might have to watch that soon. Actually, that's a really good film. Up through the shootout scene in Congress or in Parliament,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's basically the second or the third act at that point is because first act they catch Javier Bardem, then the second act, yeah, I mean that is a good movie. Anyway, I digress. How are you gonna rate? How are you gonna rate this one? Where do you put Tomorrow Never Dies? Factor in the story and be nice.
Factoring in the story, I'll give it. I think I'm sticking with 2. Like,
Come on!
It was
Did you not eat dinner? Are you hungry? Like, what's going on?
It was just so hard to finish. It was almost a DNF, not because like the movie was bad, but I was just like I was getting tired by the end of it. Like just wrap it up.
Well,
Just like
it's a 3.
I don't
for
know.
me.
Like
It's a 3.
it's before. Like I guess in the 2000, like you know what? It's the same thing that happens with all songs from the 90s and 2000s, where every song was like 4.5 minutes to 5 minutes, and right at like that 3-minute mark, you're like, okay, like the song needs.
Well,
to
that's
end.
now you get to that point because most
that's
songs
what I'm
now
saying
are
now.
2 minutes and 25 seconds.
But like that's what like I'm suffering going back to a late 90s movie because it was like
It's just too long.
every scene could have been 7 minutes shorter.
I mean, you're not wrong in that sense. If you,
scene, the final boat scene,
it's actually you're full of really good takes today, FP. I gotta be honest. Because you're 100% right about music. Songs used to be 3.5 to 4 minutes. 3.5 was like considered like you kind of getting gypped. Like it's not enough music, right? You're gonna do 7 tracks or you could do 14 tracks at 3 minutes a piece. Like that's not enough music to sell me a CD. It's not enough. It's just not enough media.
Right.
But in an era where you stream everything and people have the attention span of goldfish, songs are now like 2.5 minutes. And people don't even know the whole song. They just know the piece that they hear on TikTok over and over and over and over and over and over. So that's interesting. It's interesting.
I could maybe bump it to a 2.5 just because of how well the story holds.
It's
and
a good story.
The one scene where Carver like fake impersonates all of the kung fu.
Yes.
Like that's such a good scene. Okay. Maybe
I think it's a 3. I think the movie is a 3. I think it's the best of these 4 in my opinion. I know I talked up the Dalton movies quite a bit, but I like this one. And I think it again for a late 90s movie, you're getting the late 90s sound, you're getting late 90s clothes, you're getting late 90s like peak cars. The 750 like the 750 long, the IL is such a beautiful sedan.
Yeah.
Beautiful sedan.
I mean, I would buy one today.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, it's iconic still, with the red dial interior and instrument cluster. Very pretty car. So I'm on a 3 on this one. I'm glad we did these movies. We can't do 4 movies ever again, though. It's too much. It's too much. Everybody got afraid. And I'm actually excited. I think we got to talk briefly here about what we want to do next. I really like the idea of, the sequels that were better than the originals. And I've been saying mine openly from the beginning. Ace Ventura 2. I am dying for everyone to rewatch this movie and come back and talk to me about it. That's my selection. Are you ready to do sequels or do you want to do something else?
I could do sequels.
And I feel like we need comedies. But you pick whatever. I want to do Ace Ventura 2. You give me a sequel that's better than the original.
I'll have to think about it.
Okay.
I mean, right off the top of my dome right now, it's going to be Dark Knight for Batman over Batman Begins.
Oh,
was that the second one?
I
think Dark Knight was 2.
Yes. Batman Begins was Batman Begins. Then Dark Knight was number 2. Terminator 2, better than the original. Die Hard 2, pretty solid. Lethal Weapon 2, pretty solid.
Yes.
There's quite a bit of sequels better than the originals. My selection is locked, but let's throw it to Andy and the boys in the chat and see if anybody else has a recommendation for a sequel that is better than the original. Then that'll be OMC24 if you're good with it.
Good. I like it.
Any final thoughts as we close this show?
I was thinking about what movies Tomorrow Never Dies competed with when it came out in 97, because 97 was like a hot year for movies.
What do you
I think
got?
you had Titanic. I think you had Amistad. I think you had Good Will Hunting. I think,
Well, I'm looking it up right now. Let's see.
if I'm not mistaken, that might be one of the few Bond movies that didn't have like a number one opening box weekend because of how strong the other movies were when it came out.
Let's see. 1997 was a monumental year for cinema. Titanic, LA Confidential, Good Will Hunting, Boogie Nights, Men in Black, The Fifth Element. Oh my God.
Yeah, monster year.
As Good as It Gets, Jackie Brown, Princess Mononoke. I don't know what that is. Oh, and Face Off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, 97 was a crazy year.
These are some solid flicks, man. Wow.
And Tomorrow Never Dies, I think, just came out at the wrong time.
Life is Beautiful, Lost Highway, Wag the Dog, Donnie Brasco, Fifth Element, The Devil's Advocate, 1990. Wow.
Mhm.
Grosse Point Blank. Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. That's your favorite, I know. Gattaca. My Best Friend's Wedding. I think that's the Julia Roberts flick, I think.
That's the Adam Sandler one, I thought. No, it's Wedding Singer.
No. This is Dermot. Yeah. Liar, Liar, Face Off, Jurassic Park.
I mean, like, how do you compete with all of those movies?
Air Force One.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Air Force One. And Con Air. Con Air was 1997.
It was an insane year.
Oh, take me back. Contact, 1997. Home Alone 3. Didn't care about that one. Beverly Hills Ninja. LP's favorite.
Mhm.
Spawn. Oh, man. John Leguizamo, Michael Jai White. Batman and Robin. That was a stinker.
Yeah.
Phew, you are not wrong. 97, butt loaded.
And I mean, it sucks for Pierce that he had one of the worst written Bond movies that came out in the same year.
Well, I mean, who's gonna compete with all those?
Exactly.
Those are good flicks.
But like a Daniel Craig executed Bond probably could have.
It's fair. Yeah.
From a writing standpoint. Obviously, the technology needed to be better for a Daniel Craig movie.
But that's part of the reason why I think the Daniel Craig Bond movies are so well or highly regarded as well. There's not a lot of.
It's not very CGI gimmicky. It's just
like there is
really
CGI, but like right, it's not kite surfing down a tsunami.
Yeah.
Right, or going into space to blow up an asteroid or whatever. Like it's yeah. Well, thank you for making time, FP. This is OMC23 in the books. 4 Bond movies gone. Stay tuned. We will shortly announce what we'll do for OMC24 sequels only. I'm really excited to get force everybody to watch Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls, but we'll see what the boys come up with. Until next week or until next time, OMC24, probably 2 weeks out or so. You can follow the show anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search for DTC online or go to Patreon/DTC the show, and it comes right up. Thanks for hanging out with us. Until next time, we are out.